This training will teach you how to safely use a soldering iron. Soldering irons allow you to join electrical components to wires, PCBs, and other electronic devices. They are an incredibly useful tool and are used in the manufacturing of several commonly used devices. Before we start, there are a few important things to remember. Always make sure the smoke absorber is on while you are soldering. This will protect you and others around you from any fumes containing heavy metals that you would otherwise inhale while soldering, as well as associated unpleasant odors. Do not wear loose-fitting clothing or jewelry when you use a soldering iron. Wear closed-toed shoes, safety glasses, and keep long hair tied up. Never touch the heating elements of the soldering iron. Always assume it is hot enough to give you serious burns. Pay attention to your surroundings so that you do not accidentally harm anyone around you while you are soldering. Hold wires to be heated with tweezers, clamps, or third hands while soldering. This will prevent you from getting a burn if you accidentally overheat one of the components you are soldering. Always return the soldering iron to its stand when not in use. Never put it down on the workbench, as this will damage the workbench, soldering iron, and most importantly, create a hazard for you. Now we will discuss how to safely solder. Before actually starting to solder, you must tin the tip of your soldering iron. This requires you to first turn on the soldering iron and allow it to heat up. This should take anywhere between 20 seconds and a few minutes. Make sure you only use lead-free solder and to discard any waste solder into your space's designated recycling container. Once your iron is hot, touch solders to the tip of your iron and allow some to flow on, coating it. Wipe the excess solder off in the provided brass solder sponge. Some soldering stations might use actual sponges. If this is the case, make sure they are wet before use. Your tip should now be tinned. If you ever feel the need to re-tin the tip of your iron, that is perfectly fine. If you're having difficulties, please let a staff member know, as it may be damaged and need replacement. There are many different techniques for soldering different components and wires. We will demonstrate how to solder a component to a PCB. It is critical to have everything you will be soldering held down securely. There should be a set of third hands at every soldering station to help you with this. The key to soldering is to heat the part and component and then apply solder. It is important not to add solder directly to the iron because it may ruin it or the components. When you have finished, set the iron back in its holder and turn it off or unplug it. Make sure to wash your hands with soap and water after soldering. Now that you have completed this training and know how to safely solder, have fun and let your creativity show through the use of our soldering irons.